Shed talk, shack chat, noble nice. I said shed talk, shack chat, noble nice. I said shed talk, shack chat, noble nice. I said shed talk, shack chat, noble nice. Hello, dear friends. It is 3:17 a.m. on Friday, December 15th, 2017. I hope you can't hear the heater noise. It's right under my legs. It's very cold tonight, and when I'm sitting still doing editing and whatnot, it gets pretty chilly. So for episode 6, which all this is going to be part of, I'm thinking what we're going to do is try to do sort of a mishmash. I have a million little clips that have been created, and so now I'm gonna put them together in some sort of fashion. So there won't be probably any long talks or monologues or stories or anything of that nature on this episode. It's gonna be sort of a sort of variety show. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for being here. Keep emailing stories and stuff. Noble Knights 100 is the email, and the Instagram for the stand is Noah Days Noble Knights. I curate that and have been having fun with that. Tell your friends if you think anyone would enjoy the show or get something out of it. Share on the places where you share things. And I hope you're doing wonderful. Thanks so much. Hi, people. There's 3. That's the sound of a butterfly kiss. There's 3 albums by female artists that I've been listening to basically nonstop since I've been here and even before. But I'm just gonna talk about one today, and hopefully we'll get to the other 2. So the album is called "The Order of Time," and the artist is Valerie June, and it's like as near to a perfect album as one can get. I think it's just she has a really unique voice, which you'll hear hopefully if you look her up. All the songs are super awesome. They're produced in different cool ways. They kind of slide between genres, and it's just a stunning album. I can't speak highly enough. And she's really beautiful and awesome. She has this giant tangle of dreadlocks. They're like serpentine. They look really amazing. And I actually saw her at the Newport Folk Festival a few years ago, and we my friend Jesse and I saw her being interviewed by Bob Boylan, who's one of my heroes from NPR, in this stone fort, and you could see just their silhouettes in this window, and that was really cool. And she walked right by us at one point, and it was pretty awesome. Anyways, so The Order of Time by Valerie June. I'll try to remember to put a link in the show description. It's just a stunning album. I'm so excited for you to be able to hear it if you haven't yet, and if you have, I bet you'll agree with me that you're looking forward to listening again. Okay. You know who else is a big Valerie June fan? Bob Dylan. I was just thinking, there's no reason that Valerie June will probably ever see this video, but I just would like to say thank you. I would do this for Dan Wilson too, the album I talked about a couple episodes back. Just thank you so much for making such beautiful music. It has a huge effect out in the world, and I'll just speak for myself. I'm so grateful, just so grateful to have that to come to and to experience. So if you ever see this, Valerie June, thank you so much for making that. I'm really hugely grateful. Oh, tiny reindeer, I created you, and I like to think that in a way
you created me too.
What goes on in your tiny brains made of wood? Is there anything going on in there? And would you tell me if you could? It's occurring to me that I forgot to make you tiny little mouse to speak, and so I'll just read your body language, and we'll just have to wait and see, 'cause right now I'm feeling like we are experiencing a language barrier. All eyes on her, and by her I mean me, 'cause all eyes are on me. Or maybe all eyes are on you, 'cause you're using the mirror, it's true. So I maybe just have to get over myself.
I was just walking outside for a minute to get the cord set up for the drill, and I saw out of the corner of my eye what I thought was a person. When I looked, and it was seemingly no person. It happens a lot here in the middle of the night, both due to the shadows and the fragility of my somewhat loopy mind. And all of a sudden I had the thought, I wonder how many ghosts there are in New York City. You created me too.
Tricks of the trade.
When you are cutting the legs of the reindeers, you are wanting to make the back ones a little bit more short, because when you are putting on the big heavy head, you are not wanting it to fall over. If you're gonna make antlers, first of all, try to make them matching. Of course, because they're trees, they're not gonna be perfect, okay? Because nature doesn't make symmetry that way. But here's the thing. I prefer phaser first.
Tricks of the trade.
If you have a bunch of extra needles left over after you're done making your little reindeers and snowmen, what you can do is you can just put them in a little satchel like this, and then tie it up, and you got yourself a air freshener. Smells like balsam. Every day I eat 3 avocados for the healthy fats and to put on the weights, and I put lemon juices in my water to alkaline my body.
If you found yourself with some leftovers, don't worry about it. Just use them to make some silly eyes. Okay?
Hi, y'all. 1:47 a.m. on December 17th. So years ago, I sent my friend Morgan a hat that I had made crocheting. She was going through a lot of hospital stuff, and I used to make a lot of hats. And anyways, so I just got a package from her today. This is many years later, at least. And so she sent me this, her first thing that she made crocheting, which is pretty exciting. So check this out. Awesome work. Thank you so much, Morgan. Pretty fitting for the whole situation here. So thank you again. That's so awesome. People have been incredibly generous, especially the last couple days. People had a party upstairs, and they brought me a plate of food, which I passed a little bit of off to the delivery people because it had lobster in it, and I don't eat that. And then she just came. I gave her a bunch of stumps, this woman, to they could have a reindeer making competition, and she just came by so I could judge, and then brought me a cup of sangria too. So I have a big cup of sangria. And my dear friend Steve sent me a surprise meal from a restaurant last night, I figured out that it was him, which was really funny and awesome. And so yeah, it's been really nice trying to. And I got these reindeer, which are not of my design. They're from a couple years ago, I guess. And the guy asked me if I could antler and tail them, so I put together some new antlers and tails for them. Pretty funny. Some of this one's huge. They're pretty funny. So anyways, just a little update. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you're well out there. Bye. It's 12:22 on Friday, December 8th, according to my computer. I don't know if you guys, if you have ever experienced this, but sometimes when I travel and I go in airplanes, I find myself being particularly prone to feeling emotional, especially watching movies. I thought this was just me until I think they have done. I think there was even a This American Life or some radio show about it, but something about the shed. I'm starting to find myself in the same place. I often put movies on when I'm like making reindeer or snowmen or arts and crafts and whatnot, decorating wreaths, and I kind of have sensed in my system that it's been wanting to cry, and okay. I mean, I even put it on my like to-do checklist for the night a few nights ago. But like last night I watched the movie Hitch with Will Smith, and I cried like 3 times. And tonight I'm watching Creed, like the Rocky Redux or whatever, and I just he just knocked the guy out. Spoiler alert. And I had to like pause it and just weep, like in tatters. But I just sort of realized that about myself, that that's how my body moves different energies through crying and stuff. So anytime that it comes up and I'm not like in a situation where it's really tough to let it happen, I like to let it happen, and being in the shed in the middle of the night by myself is not so hard. So just hit pause and cry for a bit. But I always figure it's like, it feels to me like it's working through sort of a like it's not having to necessarily do so much with the moment. It's working through like a cache or not a library, but some sort of collection. I can't think of the right word. Sort of amassed over the years of my life. And so every time when I do cry, instead of just having it be what it is, which is good, I also just make sure and keep breathing and focusing, and I envision whatever that stored up energy is that's been stored in my body, just like picture it through the breathing, helping it move through and be released. And who knows, I mean, I hope that's what's happening, but it feels like that way to me. But anyways, I'm about to hit play, and I'm gonna have to pause it again in a little bit, but whatever, it's just how it goes. Oh, tiny reindeer, can you see in the dark, and do you have enough room for all the love in the world in your tiny wooden reindeer hearts? Hello friends, it is 5:19 in the morning on December 1st. Happy December Day. Don't forget to wear your monochromatic outfits and eat only one simple food until 6 p.m. And I sleep pretty much all day, so this year I'm gonna play it a little bit safe. I know it's kind of maybe a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna sleep all day, and I don't eat during the day, so I'm gonna wear just a pair of underwear, and they're one color, so probably be set on that. It's a little bit weird of a December day. Anyways, I come to you with some good news and some more challenging news. Number one, for good news, is that I've been crafting up a storm tonight in preparation for the weekend. Apparently, weekends are the times when crafts really go buck wild. So I'll just show you a little bit here. This is the workshop. You see all the craft supplies. It's really hard for me to show you everything, but behind me is a million pieces of balsam bits. And let's see here if we can show you the reindeer herd that I've been creating. So boop 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 bum 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 bum. We got some goofy reindeer heads and some adorable little reindeers. So yeah, things have been selling pretty well, and we're getting some deliveries, and it's been fun. So hopefully people will enjoy these. Okay, the challenging news. I just talked to somebody, and he wanted to make sure that I knew that this Earth is a prison planet, and that we are sent here to eventually be executed, and that also you can't leave ever. So you might want to consider a staycation in case you were thinking about bouncing. And I guess the only two people that ever left, one was named Enoch, and I can't remember the other one's name. I guess they were brought somewhere. They were both apprehended and brought somewhere else to be like reprogrammed and stuff. I'm guessing Azkaban, but I don't know that for sure. So I don't know. I guess there's a lot of aspiration in some people's hearts to leave and go explore other universes and galaxies and whatnot. But so that's the challenging news. I guess we're here to stay. So make the best. Love the one you're with, as they say. It's funny. I was years ago. My friend Brian was telling me how when he goes to the movies and watches a movie, he would feel these waves of emotion come over him. And at the time, I don't know if I totally can't remember if I totally understood that or not, but I went for many years without going ever to a movie theater, and I kind of absorbed this kind of guilt about watching movies and TV and stuff like that for a lot of my life. And recently I found that going to the movies, especially by myself, but not necessarily so, is actually can be a really powerful experience for me, and get a lot of parts of my being, some welling up and expressing and moving in ways that I just could never predict. And it's such a powerful it's turned out to be such a powerful practice for me. Yeah, just tonight watching this boxing movie, I've always been really kind of if I watch a real boxing match, I don't really understand it. I've never been trained to fight like that, or I don't really know what I'm watching, but I really do generally love watching boxing movies. If you've never seen the documentary called When We Were Kings, it's about Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, Rumble in the Jungle, and it's just a beautiful documentary, and it's so much more than the fight itself, but I couldn't recommend that enough. But yeah, I just feel all these different parts of me welling up, the warrior part of me, the one who's so built for fights and never really gets into physical matches, and that's probably fine. And also just this latent celebrational part when I see big crowds all cheering together and uniting under a common sort of dream. It really just blows me away, and seeing really people express love to each other also in certain ways. Just I have such a connective a connective experience with a lot of films that I watch, and so I mean I have them in real life too, quote unquote real life. You know, not on this, not watching a film specifically. You know, being around human beings and animals and plants and whatnot. But I don't know. It's a unique tool. It's a beautiful way to encapsulate a story. So anyways, that's my plug for movies. I don't know if you've ever seen one, but maybe do sometime. Oh golly. Oh, and the good news is I have a little surprise for you. I think it was last night, finally got some footage of my hero, so I'll pop that in right about now. I was just sitting here in the shack in the rain eating a can of beans like I do, and there's a knock on the door. I can barely see out the windows because they're so fogged up, and I'm like, uh-oh. I open the door, it's this guy on the umbrella, like right in the doorway. This big guy, this Russian guy, and he goes, "You know, last night I bought that white pine tree. Yeah. Well, my wife, she tried to get you discount. Yeah. Well, she always tried to get discount. You guys need to make money." And he hands me a $10 bill. Oh golly. People. And please write into the email nobleknights100@gmail.com and tell me any movies that have been really affecting for you, and what that experience was like, what it taught you, or what it evoked, or whatever, how it affected your life. Really curious to know. So please share those on the email if you would. Thanks so much. And if you can't, could I have a bit? I swear I'll share it with my friends and the people who walk by, and even divers that have the bends. And you and me, we could spread love from sea to sea, and in the mountain tops and deserts and the plains and other places. Stuff. Just remember, people, friends, that it's okay to let people see you broken open, no matter what the cause. My goal in this show is not to put on the persona for you. I do characters because it's fun, but I'm just a human being. Walking by my window, carrying your groceries home. Got a tailwind at your back now, blows you along with the snow. If you got a long way, if you live someone that you're thinking of? Will you see them in your dreams? The clock is about to strike midnight.